think it's a little windy to do a thing, but
It'll be all right.
There's gonna be some. You need some foam to put over your speaker.
Good morning, everybody. It's May 13th. We're at Squatch Camp. We got here yesterday. Had a pretty phenomenal night last night. One of the first for me major things that happened was, back over off this direction, dead center of the screen. Call that the room. There's an opening on the other side of it, little campsite area. I've shown it on a previous video. But I was hearing click coming from over there. And so I got up and walked in that direction about halfway over there. And then farther back that way, I heard another click. And then back off this way, another click. And there was 3 of them that were clicking. And of course, I was clicking back at them, and we were just having a clicking conversation. But I saw an individual back over there, and just was filled with euphoria last night, and and it kind of started even before the sun went down, and there was just this real positive energy in the area. But I'm going to hand this off to Chris, as we got Chris and Wayne over here. But I'm going to hand it off to you and just let you do your thing for a little bit.
And then we'll be done.
I don't have a cigarette lit, so I'll still say hi, Kathy. Last night was like a busy, positive, cool night. We had a lot of visual activity. Obviously, Kevin had the audible activity going on, and Wayne and I were kind of checking out this one spot. It's another entrance to that area. Kevin was just talking about the room, and we were seeing a lot of twinkle lights and a lot of there was some eye glow. That happened a few times over there, but I think so. I mean, to break the whole night down would be kind of long and drawn out, but the highlight of the night for me was we took a stroll on the road trail that leads into this place, and we usually do it when we're here. We had a couple years ago, Kev, Wayne, and myself had a very unique thing happen, which we'll get into another time. So we go down one direction for a while, and Kevin and I felt like we were supposed to, for whatever reason, supposed to go in the other direction. So we made a U-turn and we walked back past the camp and back up the entranceway a little bit. And I don't know, maybe a couple hundred yards up, all 3 of us turned and stared to our left. And let me preface this by saying there was a full moon last night, and it was a really, really well-lit, bright evening. And so we had a little better kind of visuals than sometimes we have in the dark. And we saw right off the road one of these guys just standing there. I mean, it wasn't 25 feet away from us. And all 3 of us, we didn't even need to point it out to each other. Like, we all 3 stopped and were just flabbergasted at just how brazenly physical and right there it was. And so, we talk amongst ourselves for a minute, and we're watching it, and Wayne decides to get a little bit closer, and he got fairly close to it. And then it was really bizarre. It was like, I don't know how to describe it. Like it had inhabited this area, and then Kevin and I, and Wayne missed this, watched this guy who was standing there take off, and then he booked from where he was, like right to left, back into the forest in the blink of an eye. We both were able to track it and watch it, and then what was standing there prior to us seeing that It was like it I don't know how to explain it. It was like this, like it had deceived us into thinking that what we were looking at was what we were looking at, but when it left, all of a sudden it just became like a couple of trees almost. Like it was kind of hard to explain. It was one of those you literally had to be there moments, but it was spectacular. So that happened, and we're stunned at this, because it wasn't something where we had to point it out to each other. It wasn't something where we were trying to discern something else. It was so well lit. It was it was what it was. And so, like Kevin had mentioned before, there was like this high euphoric energy that was being projected onto us, and I felt it. I just had this upbeat, high vibe feeling, and that was amplified at that time. And we're walking back, and we're turning around and watching, and I counted at least 5 different times where we were getting eye glow. They were pacing us off into the woods as we're walking back, and they kind of escorted us back to camp. And so then we sat down and we kind of reviewed. I don't even know if I could even describe it with any validity or properly how uniquely strange that was. It was a new one. I mean, we've had sightings that we've all seen at the same time, but this was one that was stationary and in place in a physical form, standing right in front of us. And it was almost like we had been compelled to come up and see that. I don't know if that's the case or not. It kind of feels that way, though. So that was the gist of the night. There wasn't a lot of I didn't get any communication. There was no any telepathic thing last night. Kevin might have gotten a little some, but it was brief, and I don't think Wayne did either. But that doesn't matter. I mean, if they're going to talk to you, they're going to talk to you. If they're not, I mean, that's fine too. We just to be able to witness this stuff, and it's always validating when all 3 of us are seeing the same thing at the same time. I always appreciate that. So anyways, an incredible first night, and that's pretty much all I've got to say about it. I wonder if Wayne wants to expound on this a little bit or not, brother. Take the stick.
Take the stick. I've never taken a stick.
Take the
before.
stick. You got the helm.
I'm not good at taking a stick.
I didn't leave that alone.
I didn't say, you know what, and that's why, because shit comes out of my mouth that's not right. So Kevin and Chris have gone over most of our walk and some of our sit, waiting for sundown in the dark. The moon was brilliant last night, almost to the point that you couldn't look at it, or you just lose your eyes. I was like looking at the sun, but it opened up a lot of areas very brightly. And after our walk, we came back over to camp and sat down, and Chris and I were fixated on the area that he talked about, the other opening to the room, and there was just we were just both seeing at the same time movement over there, and it was fairly well lit up in front of that area, but that area in particular was in the shadow, so we could see movement, but we not discernible. But we did see a lot of twinkle lights and eye shine. I saw 2 eye shines at the same time, one red and one off to the left of that was quite a bit taller, that was white. And I see it as eye shine. I believe that's what it is, because 2 open up and close at the same time, like blinking your eyes. And I don't know what else that could be, but this has been a nice trip in the first day and night, and that's all I can say. So hopefully we get some more stuff happen later on through the day, and maybe this evening, and we'll be back and talk around the non-fire again tomorrow, because we're under fire restrictions here, so we can't have one. We can't have an open fire, and I didn't bring my propane fire pit, but it's a nice night. It's a nice day. It's beautiful weather. A little windy today, but it's just a great time to be out here and contemplate and talk amongst each other, and that's all I got to say for today. So,
Right on, brother.
so give this back to the cameraman and
The producer.
the producer. Well, what did he bring to the table?
His selfie stick.
His selfie stick. So he's the producer. All right, here you go. Thanks, guys. I hate doing that.
Producer. The only thing I'm going to expand on that is one of the things that I think is why we had the type of activity that we had last night was we went down into Squatch Valley, and I talked about Squatch Valley many times. It's a little valley close to here that is very old growth, and we're going to do another video and get a little more in depth in that, because Wayne's got some more stuff to talk about with that. So we'll do that, and we'll probably walk over to where we had our sighting last night that Chris was talking about, and actually, show you where this went down, and instead of just talking about it, giving you, semi-visual of where it happened and the details a little deeper. Not that Chris didn't get detailed in it. It's just
A little visual perspective.
yeah, visual perspective. Thank you. That's the word I was looking for.
Three people see the same thing.
Yep.
You got three different.
So we've creeped over the 10-minute mark, so I'm gonna sign off. That as always, we love each and every one of you. Please be good to yourselves. Be good to those around you. Pay close attention to your surroundings. Stay safe. Peace out.